Thank you. I didn't expect that. Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm not surprised because I know how great you are. So we had two big changes coming up. I want to just unpack a little bit of the whys behind the whats. First, we're going to be adding a third service in September. So our service times will be 8:30, 10, and 11:30. We actually field tested it a little bit on Easter, see how it worked. And we know the problems we had in the parking lot. We apologize, sorry. And the second thing is we're moving midweek Bible study from the first and third Thursday, which only took place 2 out of 3 times, to Select Wednesday, starting a little earlier, ending a little later, to do an important series. So I want to give you the whys behind the whats for both these changes. First, why go to 3 services? By the way, that will start on Sunday, September 20th. Since 2001, we've grown by about 100 people, roughly, a year. And this year, any given Sunday, we could have somewhere around 800 to well over 900. And our auditorium holds 607 people. It would have been 608, but we have one chair with a broken leg, and we can't ever get that fixed. So it's 607 right now. And we're starting to fill up on higher attendance days. And you would think, well, my gosh, 600 seats, 800 to 900 people, come on. But here's the truth. When a room is 75 to 80% full, people see it as psychologically full. And then what happens is when it gets 80, 85%, people begin to go, geez, there's no room for me here. I guess I'm not wanted. So we don't want that to happen. So we had a choice, really. We could say we'll stick with 2 services, play it safe, not grow and make excuses for it, or we can add a third service and support the growth that God seems to be sending our way by his grace. And so the answer is simple for us. God is moving in Rochester. It's not just Lakeshore. There's a lot of churches that aren't growing. But there are more than a few churches that are growing. And I have a friend who had to add a 5th service. He's a good guy, but stinks to be him. Anyway, so 5 services. He's a good guy, too. It's a great church, biggest church in Rochester. You probably know who I'm talking about. Drew's a good guy. But the reason is really simple, that you have to make room for people because people matter to God. If people matter to God, they must matter to us. They should. Our church, since 31 years, our whole ambition is to reach people who are indifferent toward Christianity, help them become difference makers for Christ. That's why every single service we present the gospel. A little sidebar on that. Why do churches have services week after week and never share how to go to heaven? I don't understand that. It kind of perturbs me. I had a friend who went on a 3-month sabbatical. He goes, Vince, I visited your church during my sabbatical, which I know. He said, out of the 13 churches I visited, yours and only one other church shared the good news during the message. I find that troubling, but we want more people to come to Christ in the years ahead. And just one last word on this is we could probably grow to 1,400 to 1,500 people before we have to add a 4th service or build a new auditorium and support space, but that's down the road. So a couple asks of you for this first point. Please support. I shouldn't even say that. You already did. Thank you. Second is please be here each week. It's counterintuitive, like, well, you're growing. Maybe I shouldn't come every week. No, please be here every week. I want to especially challenge you who love Jesus Christ and you're Christians. You should be at church every week. I want to double dare challenge our members. You should be here every week, not sitting at home, really. Don't mean to be mean, but it's just, we need you. Second, or third, we need more people involved in ministry teams. Obviously, when you have a third service, we don't need 50% more people involved. We don't even need 50% more involvement, but we need more. And then finally, again, this is no biggie here. We are a little bit behind budget, and as you can see, we put a new roof over our auditorium and then over the flat building. We have the money, we have reserves, that's why we have it, but nonetheless, between that and a new boiler system, between $250,000 and $300,000 is out the door. It's not budgeted. We have reserves. We're fine. But but I just wanted you to know that, and anything you do to help us catch up, at least meet our budget this year. Still have plenty of time. Thank you. Second is our move of midweek Bible study to Wednesday night. We're doing it because we want to simplify things. What happens is the bigger your church gets, the more complex it gets. So as your church gets bigger and things get complex, you're trying to simplify. And so one of the ways we're simplifying, instead of Wednesday night students, Thursday night midweek Bible study, we're just going to make Wednesday night family night. So what's really cool is the student ministry. By the way, I believe either this week or next week or pretty soon, they're going to be done on Sunday mornings because the Sunday morning attendance for students is going down. The Wednesday night attendance for students is rocketing up. So by making it Wednesday night, student ministry is 6:30 to 8:30, and midweek Bible study is 7 to 8, right in there. So if you have children in 6th to 12th grade, you can drop them off, hang out, chat with people, come on in here, 7 to 8, have a great midweek Bible study, and then pick up your kids at 8:30 all in one night. By the way, the music team, they said, hey, we would really prefer to rehearse on Thursday. It's closer to Sunday, and of course you want to defer to that. And so the first one is how we reach people, help people discover. And then the second with midweek Bible study and students is how we help people develop a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. So I found that interesting, the symmetry of these two changes. And we're going to be doing a series called Life Foundations on September 16th. Out in the atrium, you get one of these cards. It has every single topic, every single date of the whole series. It's going to be 21 weeks covering every major Christian doctrine. It's like a mini Bible college class in 21 weeks. And everybody who attends is going to get a 100-page booklet on the whole subject. You're going to get the notes for the whole series, 21 weeks. So my ask of you there is please support that as well. Student ministry or midweek Bible study. Grab a schedule card. They're at the information center on both sides. Just grab them. You don't have to talk to anybody and all that. And then be here on select Wednesdays to grow your faith. If you want to find out more, go to lakeshorechurch.org/make-room. So you can find out more. And then throughout the months and weeks ahead, you'll see updates and little things and all that. And change isn't easy or fun, but you know what change is? Change is a sign that God is at work, and God is at work at Lakeshore. So he's at work at Lakeshore because we have an amazing God, and we have amazing people like you. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, now for what you're really here for. Now, if you give yourself a grade from 1 to 10, how would you score your love and romance life right now? 1 to 10. Not asking for public answers right now. I heard a lot of zeros. That's not good. I'm afraid to ask this next question. How many could say 8, 9, or 10? No. How many single adults could say, I'm happy with the way I'm dating? I'm happy with who I'm dating, and I'm happy that I'm not dating because it just hasn't worked out. Or how many newlyweds could say, our marriage is 1 or 2 or 3 years old, and it's off to a really good start, really, really good start. And our romance is not in the red, it's in the black. Everything's going well. It takes work, but we know it's worth it. Or how many longtime married people can say, I still very much am in love with my spouse. We enjoy romance and sexual intimacy, and things are really, really good. Now, I'd like to think many of you and many of our friends and family or people that we know would say, yeah, 8, 9, 10, no question. But the truth is that for many people, that number is less than 8, 9, and 10. How many know what I'm talking about? For some, it's a lot lower than that. And why is that? Why is that? I believe it's because the main problem is because we have the wrong mindset and the wrong approach for how we look for relationships. Like that old country song, we're looking for love in all the wrong places. By golly. And the places we're looking are shallow and superficial. People need help when it comes to love, sex, and romance. Pastor Chip Ingram wrote a book called Love, Sex, and Lasting Relationships. He came to Rochester about 15 or so years ago. He had a great talk, and so I kind of ripped it off for today. I ripped it off a lot of it. I would say 75% of it. And he had this to say about the subject of love, sex, and romance. He says, sadly, the church has mostly relegated the subject of love, sex, and romance to special seminars. Oh, you want to find out about that? Come to the special seminar, because we're sure not talking about it on Sunday. But that doesn't work when you consider all the confusion that exists. All the confusion that exists even in the church. I could tell you stories that even if you're bald, it would make your hair curl. Honestly, I've heard pastors tell me stuff, and I agree. Be honest, the world is working double overtime, getting time and a half to talk on this subject. And the church, other than saying, don't have sex till you're married, you can enjoy it and have lots of kids. Other than that, the church has nothing else to say. It can't even find the time clock to punch in on the subject. Really. I did a series called Pure Sex, more than this series, and boy, I got killed for it. One family came in the church. I got this mailer. I go, we're a church. What do you think we're going to talk about? He goes, well, that's true. I go, what do you think my daughter got the mail? I go, what do you think? Your daughter is learning all this nonsense in school. Well, that's true too. He ended up saying, oh, thank you. He like, all right. It happens sometimes. So we're going to look at that for the next week. So take out your notes. My goal is whether you're single, not really interested in dating, single, considering, or wanting to date, single, dating, and in a relationship that has some potential, a newlywed looking to get off on the right foot, or married couples who've been married for some time and want to get better at it, we're going to help you. And so we're going to look at the wrong way to find the right person. Then we're going to look at the right way to find the right person. Then we're going to look at how to pursue the right way to find the right person. Is that all right? Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's look at the wrong ways to find the right person. So many of us are subtly indoctrinated, not even subtly, with what Chip Ingram calls the Hollywood model. I personally refer to it as the fairy tale model of relationships. It's everywhere. It's on TV. Sex is portrayed on TV as purely biological. People watch TV 5 hours a day on average, believe it or not, or screen time now. How about movies? How many movies do you go to and there's always some incredibly, some scene with two people, going at it and stuff? I don't know what to say. I don't know. Or commercials. I gotta give Chip Ingram this quote because I didn't say this. Look, and if you're children, anyway. Chip Ingram said, on commercials, sex is almost always connected to beer, barbecues, bras, and businesses. And magazines. Next time you go to the grocery, just look at don't look at the checkout. I mean, so here's the four-step model. Four-step model for the Hollywood, the world's view, the wrong view, the fairy tale view. Number one, step one. This is gonna sound like, what's wrong with that? Step one, find the right person. Find the right person just for you. They have to look right, act right, be right, smell right, and most importantly, make you feel right. It's gotta make you feel right. You have to find them, whether it's a bar or at the cafe, the Waves Cafe, or somewhere, you gotta find them. They're out there, go get you one. Country people are gonna hate me today. They're gonna go, I hate this church, city church. But bring your list and make sure that person checks off every box on your list. Now, how do you know they're right? Well, that's step two. You fall in love with that person. Fall in love. Something clicks inside. You get a rush thinking and being around that person. Simultaneously, your IQ drops 30 points when this phenomenon happens. It's called infatuation. It's a powerful chemical reaction that occurs in our brains. Infatuation. Infatuation is reality. I'm not saying don't be infatuated. I'm just telling you, you have to understand that infatuation is not love. Infatuation is natural. By the way, how are men stimulated toward infatuation? Number one way, how are men stimulated toward infatuation? Visually. First words of Samson in the Bible, in the book of Judges. First words of Samson in the Bible. That's why he got in trouble. First recorded words of Samson. You know what it is? She looks good to me. Check it out. She looks good to me. All right. How about women? If men begin infatuation visually, how do women begin infatuation? Verbally. Oh, you look amazing. You look fantastic. Someone would be fortunate to be with you. Now, the third thing is when you are in this infatuation state, once you fall in love, third, you fix all your hopes and fulfillment on them. Fix all your hopes and fulfillment on them. They become the ultimate objective of your life. They are your joy, your satisfaction, your source of meaning. Only they can satisfy your relational longings. We even say things like this: he or she completes me. It's like, yeah, until I met them, I was just a half a person. I was just half of me. Now I'm complete. Or we say stuff, I don't know what I'd do without you. Because we equate infatuation with love during this period. By the way, how long does the infatuation period last? Anywhere from 6 weeks to 18 months. So for 18 months, you can be really crazy. I'm just being honest. Because of infatuation. And you begin to base your reason for life on them. Because you love, and this is key, you love how they make you feel. This is the world's view. This is the wrong view. You love how they make, well, what's wrong with that? Do you want to feel bad around somebody? I'm not saying that either. But that's a word of balance. But you know what ends up happening most of the time? Not all the time. But most of the time, infatuation, not understood, will lead to infuriation. And that leads to the end of the relationship. So that's the fourth step. If failure occurs, just repeat steps 1, 2, and 3. Just find the next right person. Just fall in love with the next infatuated person. Keep fixing your hopes on the next person. And when failure occurs again and again, just lather, rinse, repeat. And the data on this is, this approach is failing our country. It's failing people. In 2023, 1/3 of Americans who have ever been married reported that their first marriage ended in divorce. It'd be higher, but less and less people are marrying today. They're choosing to live together. 40% of divorces happen in the first 10 years. 25% of divorces happen after 25 plus years. By the way, there are 3 critical years in a marriage. You know what they are? Year 3, year 7, year 20. Year 3, because it's like, the first year is like you're still on adrenaline. The second year, you're figuring things out. The third year, you're getting upset sometimes. The 7-year itch, that's real. And then 20, that's interesting, 20. Why is that? Well, the kids are starting to move out, and then you have to deal with each other and stuff. 2/3 of people who divorce will remarry. The divorce rates are higher for remarried people. But it's also failing children and families. 23% of U.S. households are single-parent households. In the 1950s, that number was 5%. Internationally, you know what that number is? 7%. You know how many single-parent households there are in the city of Rochester? 70%. The highest single-parent city in America, our city. And children in single-parent homes are more likely to be incarcerated, less likely to be successful in their career futures, and dads are especially critical to children. Now, I understand there are some people here that are single because of bad choices of somebody else, and you got stuck holding the laundry bag. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to pretend I know your situation. We don't judge anybody. But they're just facts, and it's not going well. And you know what happens over time? Using this approach, you start to think, what's the use? How many people say that, have you ever heard this one? I don't even believe in marriage anymore. Or marriage doesn't work for me. And then we start to invent our own approach to intimate relationships with others. And sadly, it's getting crazier and more creative by the year. And the problem's clear, though. We've confused the institution of marriage with the insanity of the Hollywood fairy tale model of love, sex, and relationships. Now, the Apostle Paul warns us about this in Ephesians 5, and he says this in verses 3, 6, and 7. He says, among you, there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality. Not even a hint. The Hollywood model, there's more than a hint. It's right there. In other words, don't take the bait on the wrong approach. Not even a hint of sexual immorality. No one should even have a reason to think that about you. Or of any kind of impurity or greed, because these are improper for God's holy people. Now, I'm speaking to Christians here. Let no one deceive you with empty words. And this model is an empty word model. Therefore, do not be partakers with them. Don't partake with Hollywood, the fairy tale model, or people who embrace that. And yet people all over buy this approach hook, line, and sinker, and they even buy it in the church. So what do? Well, we abandon this wrong Hollywood fairy tale model, and we embrace God's way, the right way, to find the right one. Since God created love, sex, and romance for our enjoyment, and since he designed it, think of the Bible and God as the operating manual, as the owner who knows how it works. He knows what we have to do. And he summarizes it in Ephesians 5, 1-2. And this is really we're gonna unpack. I'm gonna have you circle 3 phrases, so get your pen ready. And it says, therefore, be imitators of God. I circled that. Be imitators of God. Greek word mimic. The Greek word is mimetai. We get our English word mimic from it. Be mimickers, imitators of God. Circle that phrase. As beloved children, and walk in love. Circle that phrase. Walk in love, just as Christ also loved you and gave himself up for us, as an offering and sacrifice to God. Circle sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. So be imitators of God has the idea of mimicking. Walk in love. Whenever you see the term walk in the Bible, walk it's a euphemism for what you do daily. You walk every day. You walk from the parking lot here, you walk to your car, you walk to the mailbox, you walk around the office, you walk everywhere. And walk has an idea of your course of action. So walk in love. Your course of action is you're operating in love. And then it says, an offering and sacrifice to God. That means that love is sacrificial, which gives you a hint to why the first model doesn't work. So from this passage, I'm gonna get the 3 steps. So I'm gonna tell you how the wrong way, the right way fit at each point. Number 1, step 1. Instead of finding the right person, in God's model, you become the right person. You become the right person. Be imitators of God, the first phrase I had you circle. You make yourself so attractive that others see the attractive nature of your life. And if you live to be the right person, and God's called you to marriage, you won't have any problem getting married. None. And you'll find the right one. I have a person who has been a pen pal for a number of years. He's been in prison, and he just got out of prison, and he'll be at church. I don't know if he's at this service. I think he'll be at the second. And he asked me this question just before. He says, how did you get such a beautiful wife and family? And I said, God's sovereignty, my wife's genes, and I tried to be the right person. I have a book in my library called Relationships, written by Les and Leslie Perot. They used to teach a course at Seattle Pacific University called Relationships 101. It was an elective class. You could take it if you wanted. The class was pass-fail, and which was attractive to college students. And you didn't have to take notes, but if you want to learn about relationships, he says, I want you to write down and learn this one sentence, because it will affect every relationship you have. He says, however much you understand this sentence and apply it, all your relationships are transformed. But if you don't understand or are unwilling to do what this one sentence says, your relationships will be dysfunctional. You ready for the sentence? And I'll put this on Facebook. So, if you attempt to build intimacy with a person before you've done the hard work of becoming a whole and healthy person yourself, every relationship will be an attempt to complete the hole in your heart and the lack of what you don't have, and that relationship will end in disaster. In other words, don't find a relationship to fill your void, or if you're a rescuer, don't find a relationship to fill their void either. Don't even try to find the right person. Be it. Then the second thing, instead of falling in love, walk in love with that person. Remember what the text says? Walk in love just as Christ loved you. Don't just ask, and this is so countercultural. This is going to sound like a throwaway line. Oh, I knew that. I'm telling you, examine your heart in this next sentence. Don't just ask what you can get, but demonstrate what you can give, because that's what love is. Look, it's human nature. I did it. We all do it. We just have to understand it. We get into a relationship, say, what do you give me? What do you give me? But you know what true love is? True love is, I so love being around you. I so love being around you. I want to give to you. It's a big difference. You marry someone you enjoy giving to. You know the number one cause of divorce, you know what it is? Number one cause of divorce? Broken down communication. CBD, communication breakdown. Remember my 10th grade health teacher used to say that. CBD, communication breakdown. Number two cause of divorce. Arguing about money, finances. You usually have one spender and one saver, and the saver's always hunting down the spender with with some kitchen tools and everything. Why'd you spend that? And what are they both involving? What you give and what you get. And Jesus said, people get divorced for a hardness of heart. And what's a hardness of heart? It's a heart that doesn't want to love anymore. So the antidote is a loving, soft heart. To love like Christ, to walk in love with that. What do I mean by that? That means that you go, yeah, I'm falling in love with you, but I'm going to walk in love with you. I'm not going to fall in love with you. We're going to walk in love, and we're going to see how this walk goes. And then step 3, instead of fixing your hope on the other person, focus all your hopes on God and please Him in that relationship. Remember what the third thing I had you circle? Live your life as an offering to God. The wrong way model says focus on people. Focus on frail, imperfect, fragile people. Focus on them. But God says enjoy the person you're with. Be careful about dating, but enjoy it appropriately, of course. And then if you get married, enjoy your spouse. But don't ever count on your spouse to fulfill you. They won't do it. They can't do it. My wife can't do it, and she's the best. But God can. God fulfills us. If you try to find fulfillment in another human being, you are doomed. I find joy in Sue, so much joy in my wife. You should find joy in your spouse, if that's where, or the dating process. I do not find or ask my wife to fulfill my needs. That's impossible. Focus on God fulfilling you, and then see your spouse through the eyes of God. And then fourth, if failure occurs, repeat step 1, 2, and 3. You go, wait a minute, I did it God's way. Well, guess what? We live in a fallen world. Sometimes you can even do it God's way, and it might not work out. That's okay. God's got something better for you. If it fails, what do? Continue being the right person. Continue walking in deeper love. Keep focusing your hopes on God. I remember Chuck Swindoll told a story, pastor in Texas, told a story of a woman. Here's how she focused her hopes on God. She wanted to be married so bad that she got an article of men's clothing and hung it on the footboard of her bed with hopes that God would see it and bring her a man. I don't suggest that. I won't use that in the second service. That didn't go very good. But let me summarize this formula in the triangle. So I'm going to ask the team to bring up this model. Okay? This is the formula for lasting relationships. If you want to get to the top, you have to get every stage below it right. So here's the first stage. The first stage is the spiritual. This is the foundation. Oh, there we go. That's the foundation. If you do not agree spiritually with someone you're dating, you are asking for so much trouble. You go, well, they're a Christian and I'm a Christian. Good. I have another question for you. What if they're a hyper-charismatic Christian and you're an ultra-conservative Christian? Is that going to work? I'm questioning that. You got to get the spiritual foundation. Once you get that, this is big. The second step, the second is the interpersonal, and this is friendship. The most important thing in a relationship is, can you be friends? The Song of Solomon says this. He says about the Shulamite woman who he dates. He says, this is my lover, this is my friend. Friendship. You know that all the research says the more that you are friends before, not lovers, friends, before you get married, the more likely your marriage will succeed. Friends. Third, the intellectual. This is the facts. And what do I mean by this? You have to be honest about who you are. They have to be honest about who they are. A lot of people tell lies. Can you imagine that in the dating process? Yes, they do. And once you get the foundation, the spiritual and the interpersonal friendship and the facts, look, I feel senses of abandonment sometimes. Yeah, I struggle with that, and these things hurt. And then the facts get on the table. Then you can get to the fourth, which is the emotional, the feelings. Feelings, you have feelings. You can't, I don't have feelings, I'm a robot. No, you're not a robot, you have feelings. You have to understand those feelings, but you must subject your feelings to the facts based on a friendship with the foundation being your spiritual life. It's okay to have feelings. You have feelings. It's not even okay that you have feelings. You must subject your feelings, though, to that. And then the last part, once you get all these four set, is the physical, the formalization. What do I mean by that? That means you get married before you have intimacy. This is my prude point. Well, you know what? We love each other. We're in a committed relationship. Okay, then get married. Well, I don't believe in marriage. Okay. So now you're already telling me you don't want to do it God's way. And you only get physical when you say, I do, in marriage. And then one last thing. The husband and the wife, they look up to God. And when they look up to God, they can see each other properly. The wrong model turns it upside down. Let's go physical first. Let's see how we feel. Let's not deal with the facts. Who cares if we're friends? Doesn't matter what you believe about God. And that's why it doesn't work. So let's get on the solution side. What do we do to find the right one? I want to get each of the three, be the right person, walk in love, fix your hopes on God, and give you some practical help. So number one, to be the right person, pursue inner purity. Make the goal of your life to live a pure life. Look at 2 Timothy 2:22. Flee youthful passions. I have guys I went to high school with, and we're in our 60s now, and they still act like they're in the halls of high school, and I love them, but man, they haven't fleeted youthful passions. Instead, pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. In other words, just partner up with people who are on the same purity path. Certainly when it comes to intimacy. And items 1 and 4, righteousness, faith, love, and peace, they're all purity matters. They're all inside matters. Beauty begins on the inside, and it lasts forever on the inside. Proverbs 31 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is in vain, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. It's inner purity. Inner beauty takes more work, but it leads to lasting results. We all know people that you would say, whether it's a man or a woman, you'd say, you know what? Physically, they're average looking, but you know what? Their personality is so amazing that they're a beautiful person. So build into yourself inner purity. You'll be so beautiful inside, it will come out of you. And I'm not saying this is the goal of life, but if you're a woman, you'll have to say no to so many men. And if you're a man, you'll have to say no to so many, because your beauty will come out of you. It's what people want. That's what lasts. So how do you do that? Read the Bible every day. Come to church every week. Get in a small group, serve, come to midweek, but engage in the Christian disciplines to build your inner purity. Second, to walk in love, and this is big, practice mutual submission. Back to Ephesians 5. Let's look at verses 21, 22, and 25. It says, submit to one another out of reverence of Christ. It's interesting because the word submit is not in the Greek. It literally says, out of reverence for Christ, but it puts the word submit there because that's the context. And then it talks about how wives do it and how husbands do it. Wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. In other words, as you would to the Lord. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So when you walk in love with somebody, if you're married or dating, whatever it is, and you're trying to test how good the walk in love is, it's real simple. Do they submit to me? Do I submit to them? And how does a woman, a wife, submit to her husband? By submitting to his godly leadership. You know what men need more than anything? Respect. You want to end your marriage? Real simple way to do it. Just disrespect your husband. It's over. All over. Respect your husband. And husbands, if you want your wife to respect you, be a protector and a provider. Be a protector. Anybody touches my wife, I'm gonna go 24 years of karate and 4.5 years of wrestling upside their head. Not happening. You ain't messing with my wife. And provider. Doesn't mean she can't earn money. She did, my goodness. But I provide for my family. So women, respect your husbands. Husbands, you want respect, be a protector and a provider. How about women? How about husbands, Husbands, submit to your wife by loving your wife without condition. Where men need respect, women need love. Will you love me no matter what? And women, if you want husbands to love, do what you do best. Be the comforter and nurturer of the family. Now, of course, husbands need love and wives need respect. But I'm just telling you that primarily, husbands want respect and wives want love. One last word about this. Forget 50-50. You ever hear this? 50-50. You do your part. That's a contract. You know what marriage is? A covenant. No, it's 100-100. Then the last thing to do is focus your hopes. Prioritize God's approval. See, a lot of times when you date, you go, well, if I do this, will you like me? If I do this, will you like me? If I do this, will you like me? Will you like me if I do this? And instead you go, you know what? God, will you like me? He'll love you no matter what, but God, will you be pleased if I do this? God, will you be pleased? And you focus on pleasing God. And if the other person likes it, you might have something there. But if the other person doesn't like it, that's your sign. Look at Matthew 6:33-34. And by the way, the context is worry. Don't worry about what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, and it's not specifically stated in the text, but by application, you could say who you're going to marry, who you're going to date, who you're going to be with the rest of your life. It's all, and he says this, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. You seek God first, and he'll give you the best for the rest. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So when you put Jesus Christ first in all you do, and your spouse or potential spouse second, your spouse will get more from the second place than if you made them first. And if the person is the right one, they'll love you for loving God that much. And if the person is the wrong one, they'll leave you for loving God this much. And that's a good thing. So Jesus first, your spouse second, and you third. That's how you find the right person in your life. So let's bow our heads. And let me ask you, where are your relationships today in the opposite sex realm? Are they healthy and holy? If you're married, are the things happening in your marriage today things that are lasting, contributing to a great marriage, or fading, undermining a great marriage? And then where's God in all of this? Have you still bought some of the Hollywood fairy tale model or God's model? God can be trusted. God can be trusted. Trust him with your relationships. Trust him with whatever he decides to do if you follow his plan in dating. Trust him in your marriage. Be the one who fertilizes the marriage, who waters the marriage, who does what they have to do. Do less expecting and more doing into your marriage. And beware of all the traps of our culture. Lord, help us. Help us to not buy the lies. It looks so good. Because in a 2-hour film, it can work out. But in a life, it doesn't. Help us to resist the lies that buck against your system. And thank you for giving us the ultimate model, Lord, Jesus Christ, who loved us without condition, who gave his life for us when we didn't even believe in him, who shed his blood to show us what sacrificial love is all about. See, if your relation, and even if you're a Christian, your relationship with Jesus Christ isn't tight, then all bets are off everywhere else. So if you're a Christian, maybe you need to tighten up some things with the Lord. I don't know what that is. But if you're not a Christian, I invite you to trust Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He loves you. The Bible says he's the lover of your soul. And when you get the love of God in your life, everything else is gravy. Say, Jesus Christ, I know you love me. I want to try to love you back. I know I can't earn heaven. I put my faith in you alone. I put my faith that you shed your blood for me, died for me, and you rose again for me. Come into my life. Make me a brand new person inside. I trust you and you alone. Now I want to live for you. Help me live for you to say thank you. Father, thank you for these amazing people. What a privilege it is to pastor people like this. Help us to have love, sex, and romance that pleases you. And we ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, before we let you go, if you made a faith commitment, please let us know about it. If you're online, thank you for doing that. Let us know about it so we can support you, help you grow. If you need prayer, come right up front here. Don't forget the Life Foundation's cards. Grab one at the Information Center. Once I get out there, I'll be out there. I love you guys. Have a great day. Thank you.